musicians and cool things and stuff. It's the Holly and Josh
Hello!
It is low. No, that was quite high, actually. How are you,
Hello.
Harley? Welcome to the Harley and Josh show, ladies
Hello.
and gentlemen. Yes.
Yes.
It is Monday.
It's Monday.
Again.
It's great.
It happens so quickly, doesn't it?
It's this is the best I felt on a Monday in quite some time.
That's huge.
yeah.
Ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen, that is breaking
I don't
news.
feel huge. I'm still a.
looks
I'm still a wee baby.
He's a wide boy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Harley and Josh show, your music podcast by musicians. We have got some great news and music and discussion today. Music coming from the wonderful Super Glue.
Yep.
New guys that we haven't listened to before, Bag of Cans, and old favourite of ours, Ellie Tree.
Does
She's
the
wonderful.
does the band name Bag of Cans relate to any of the sounds of music that they make?
Yes, the whole thing is just... oh, I forgot to put the recycling separately.
damn.
Yeah, that's the next song. We've also got some news about
Of course.
Neil Young.
Oh, yeah?
is boycotting Facebook because of political ads. We've also got our discussion later on, thing about this morning, whatever, however we say it. I've no idea. I was thinking that on the way up here, like, what does the jingle actually mean? I don't know. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about, is music educational?
Yeah. Where?
No. What's the point of music education, basically?
Yeah. What's the point now?
Yeah, what's the point? So
Coming from two teachers, this is going to be a very biased discussion.
But I'm trying not to be super biased. But like, Harley, I need to ask you a question, mate.
Go on.
What'd you do?
Well, I did things.
Did you? Good. End of series.
I spent majority of this week in Bristol, working on the new tour, the new roadshow that I've been doing. It was all very very easy and very
Nice.
simple and great fun. Didn't get to enjoy the delights of Bristol quite enough, but there was a very nice Indian we went to,
Right.
and it was
What was his name?
Sam.
Good. Sam.
Sam.
Just his place. You just went to his house.
Yeah, his name's
Yeah.
Sam. Doesn't have a last name. Just Sam.
Good.
Just Sam.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I've not been to Bristol before.
Have you not? Go.
No.
We went into the town very briefly, and I went, "Oh, this is really nice. I wish I could see it during the day because it was like 11 at night."
Yeah, classic.
Because we spent all of the day inside a building, inside a very square room, and saw very little daylight.
We've played a band from Bristol. We played Cut Capers on this show.
Yes, we have.
And
yeah.
I've seen another band called the Schmoozenbergs, which are an amazing gypsy jazz band from Bristol.
Nice. I was playing a lot of Bristolian folk music.
Bristolian folk.
Bristolian folk.
Ooh.
Um,
That sounds quite Lord of the Rings,
yeah.
it?
Well, we'll get to where I was Sunday, but
Ooh.
in the background there was a lot of Sam Kelly and the Lost Boys and
Oh,
Kitty
right, yeah.
McFarlane being played alongside the music of the evening.
Oh,
So yeah, so that was my weekday was fairly standard. Had lots of driving. It was 4-hour trip either way, and so
Crazy.
listened to lots of music and stuff like that.
Yeah. What did you listen to on the way?
Good
I
question.
know.
I think I didn't listen to that much music, to be honest. But what I did, I think I listened to a lot of Theo Katzman.
Theo Katzman, you've told me
Yeah,
about him before.
yeah. His live show, live in Berlin, is very good. Available on all good streaming platforms, and it's very good. His performance show is very good.
Yeah? What kind of music is it?
Kind of soul-y singer-songwriter, soul-y,
Cool.
lovely stuff. Some very good musicianship. Of course, Joe Dart on bass, always just
yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
Wolf Peck.
yeah.
Incredible.
But just some great vocal work. Really
Yeah.
good, just amazing stuff and 3-part harmonies and just lovely stuff, boy.
Yeah. And to do that by yourself is really hard. 3-part harmonies.
Yeah, yes. Well, he did have 4 Fine Gentlemen joining him. That's
Ooh.
the name of his band, 4
4
Fine
Fine
Gentlemen.
Very nice.
It's just because he said 4 Fine Gentlemen. That's a really cool band name, 4 Fine Gentlemen.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Well, I mean, you really do have to be very moral people and quite nice and chivalrous to be able to be called that.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
called 4 Fine Gentlemen, then you turn out to be like Nazi punks, then it's not a good idea.
Although 4 Fine Gentlemen would be a good punk name because of the irony.
Yeah.
You know, they
They never iron their stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's ironic.
So,
Hey.
yum. What
Not
about
at all, not at all.
Saturday? What did
Saturday.
you do?
So I made it
was
home.
that for?
I I had full intentions of going into the shop on Saturday.
Oh.
Wasn't able to make it. The whole road was closed down.
Yeah, it was a big gang fight here on Norwich Road, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if it was a gang fight,
It was
actually.
just
to
a
be honest.
brawl and stuff. But yeah, so that was pretty heavy.
Apparently people had like golf clubs.
Yep.
As James Garden, like, please don't let them use the guitars. These are expensive. They're really nice.
I don't know what he knew because it was his day off. So I had a feeling he knew something that no one else did. Don't. I'm just riffing here.
He's
Don't.
orchestrating the whole thing.
Oh yes, yeah.
He's handing out golf clubs.
Yeah.
Off you go, guys.
I wonder if like
Drive them into the shop.
in such events is like a putter. Is that considered not cool? Is that like
No, you
especially
want to go
like
for a driver?
the green ones you get? I mean, like Crazy Golf.
Yeah.
I saw
It's like shaped like a giraffe or something.
I saw a petition that some people put online to change the name of mini golf to golf, and then change the name of normal golf to big golf.
Yeah, because it's normal size. I mean,
Yeah,
you
just
play
big-
with the same size clubs.
Yeah, it's all big golf, isn't it?
Yeah, but then big golf, you'd have to play with like huge clubs.
You're not giving me any downsides here.
Oh, yeah, true.
I would watch that so
It
much.
would mess up a lot of people's game.
Again, golf is another one of those games, sports that you watch on telly that I think could be improved like immensely with the multi-ball feature.
Multi-ball.
Yeah, same
Like
with football.
pinball.
Yeah, like pinball. Like imagine that, but in football, in golf, hockey
Throwing them at
for
the ball.
sure. Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, volleyball too.
Oh,
Because
good.
they look panicked when they're trying to keep those balls off the ground. But imagine having to do it with 6 of them. It's
Ooh,
so yeah. Anyway, so that was my Saturday.
good. In a
Right.
roundabout way.
No, I did have an evening at the Watermelon Jam at Cult Cafe.
Oh, amazing. Yes.
It was great.
Is that the third or fourth one?
It was their
they've done?
third one.
Third one.
Yeah, it was the first one they've done at the Cult Cafe. The first one being at Three Wise Monkeys. The second one was at Mayday Festival. I've been lucky enough to make it to all of them, and they even asked me to open up with a house band to start the show.
Who was in the house band?
So it was myself. It was Tom Guitarthy.
Woo!
We had
Taking off your bingo card.
yeah.
I
We
don't
had
think anybody's playing that anymore.
Flo So on drums.
He's very good.
And very
Florence.
great drummer, great jammer. Gil Waters on keys.
Oh, he's great.
Very good. And
He's great on every instrument he plays. Though.
yeah. And really like just genuinely nice guy. And Chris, I forget his last name. Stockington, thank you.
Yeah.
On guitar of 5011 Productions, who
Yeah.
put on the whole event. They had a great system. It was great. They had a really nice PA that just sounded amazing, real solid, not too
QSC
loud.
stuff, don't they, from Lloyd?
They had a different system. They had the QSC monitors.
Yeah, there's loads of Lloyds, isn't they?
Yeah, and I don't know what they had for front of house, but it was a company that I didn't get the name of, but I had a nice little chat with the guy. Great stuff. He was running a Waves like drive system, so running outboard Waves plugins for live, and it sounded
Those things are pricey.
yeah, it was, and worth it though because everything just sat perfectly in its
How
place.
were the feedback issues? Because they've had a lot of problems with that in the past.
None at all.
that have been-
Like none at all.
Yeah.
Well, with this instrument, they had a dedicated sound guy running it was a digital desk, but with real faders, so it's a little bit more controllable to do on the like.
Because they've been using iPads a lot before.
Yeah, and that's great, but you can only kind of do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And if you get any latency, if the internet drops out and your fader's up and it feeds back, there's not a lot you can do.
Yeah.
And
So
they had
there are some limits there,
yeah,
aren't there?
and they got there nice and early, and they had enough time to ring out all the monitors that you could like really punch them and
Yeah.
crank them up without there being any issues.
That's cool.
So it was like really well done. The sound was
Bye.
great. The band were awesome, and it was just a really good turnout of musicians.
Just for everybody listening in, what do you mean by ringing out the monitors?
So when you've got just to explain feedback for anyone who doesn't know what feedback is, you have a microphone that takes sound in, and you have a speaker that pushes that sound out, but louder.
They're pretty much both the same thing with different polarities.
Yeah. So you got an input, you got an output. However, if a note comes out of the speaker that then the mic picks up enough that then gets fed back into the speaker that gets fed back into the mic that gets fed back into the speaker that gets fed back, and it keep going, and then you end up with this what we talk about ringing and feedback. Yeah, that kind of. So what you can do is you can then get it to the point of feedback, and you get that note that is feeding back, and just notch it out. So that one note that is coming through most prominently is then taken out. So then you can just turn it up a little bit more. If you do this 3 or 4 times, you don't want to go too many times. You can really just push everything up to the point where you've got a clear sound without any feedback, without any unnice
You
noises.
lose some frequencies that sometimes you might want to hear. But I mean, so without a band being there to sort of like test out the monitors so that you know exactly what frequencies are going to be coming in, how do you ring them out? What do you put through them?
Often you can do it with just the noise of the room. So if you can bring the mic up to the point where it feeds back with a like a certain amount, and then you can drop it down, or you can use what they call pink noise, which is like white noise but more mid frequencies and a little less terrible on the ears.
It's like
rather than it's like and that just gives you a real nice sound coming out front, because then you've got no pushing frequencies afterwards.
Odd question.
Okay.
Do you know why it's called pink noise?
I think the point is white noise is like every frequency, so it's the brightest noise, and I think they just went with pink noise because it's a bit darker. And you can also get brown noise as well, which is all the low frequencies.
That's the one that everybody usually knows.
Yeah.
It's the one that people say that makes you poo yourself.
The brown note, 19 hertz.
19 hertz. Try it out. Try it yourself.
Yes.
To quote,
I think it's
Fart Attack. I mean the other one.
Yes, yeah. Thanks.
No, I meant actual. No, Chart Attack are the real one. But
yeah, we love just pumping the 19 hertz through.
That's what we do.
That's so that's
incredible. I'm going to actually Google why it's called pink noise.
Okay, whilst you're searching that, I'll say the only disadvantage you had is what I've always said about jam sessions. What they suffer from on a Saturday night is you have so many great musicians like yourself that would have loved to have made it, but you're busy gigging elsewhere. So that's a real shame that they've kind of missed that bit out. You know, the first one we had was very lucky that we had some really good musicians who had the time off, but you're going to tell us about pink noise.
Sorry, I just think this is really interesting. Pink noise is one of the most common signals in biological systems. The name arises from the pink appearance of visible light with this power spectrum.
Oh, okay.
This is in contrast with white noise, which has equal intensity per frequency interval.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's actually a scientific ting.
Or a scientific... so there we go. So my Sunday was also great. I was doing sound, so I was rather on the stage. I was off the stage running sound for Folk at the Froys.
Oh, amazing. They have some amazing events there. I do love it.
They do love... Yeah, it's...
David's very lovely bloke as well. He runs the whole thing. Always looks after you.
Very much so. Well, that's it. I was joking with Joe Bowman, who also runs sound for some of their events there. Bo Joman. He was saying how it's great because you get to go, you do sound. It's a very easy job. It's a great room, very easy to make it sound good. But it's also really good food. We all joke, like, really doing it for the food. But
of course, they do have great food there.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And I actually had to ring out a microphone for that job.
Oh, right. Okay.
The supporting band, the headline band was Lucy Ward.
Okay, I've heard that name.
She's she's a award-winning folk artist.
Lucy Award.
She's won BBC Radio 2 Folk Awards in 2012. She's done loads of other stuff, played for people for many years, and is just lovely.
Do you know where she's based?
Derby.
Oh.
And you can tell when in her performance style, she's got that accent, and it's really homely, really lovely. Cool. It was great. The support act, Johnson Novak duo, and they played, and they had a really nice condenser mic, and they had that, and they were basically just singing around the mic, and they would get further away and closer to it and stuff like that. those kind of mics are so sensitive. You have to be really careful.
They're more for recording than live, aren't they?
Definitely.
I think,
So
is it more to do with the polarity and like the sort of the pickup pattern?
yeah,
they used
well,
it.
just because it picks up everything in the room. They're
Yeah.
so wide. So and the fact that they could stand away and still be heard is what they wanted to get out of it.
Right.
So
Get
I
the
would,
room noise.
yeah. So I'd crank it up a little bit, and I brought it to feedback, fan the frequency, dip that frequency out, brought it back, and then bring it up a little bit louder, dip that frequency out, and we had absolutely no issues. And they
Awesome.
were really happy with the sound.
That's really good. And was it outside or was it inside?
It was inside. It was in the room.
Right.
I don't know what they call that particular part of
Room.
the building, perhaps. It was just really good, really interesting night. Everyone, it's always good to go see those. We got to see Kelly Bayfield,
Yeah.
have a nice little chat with her, and she did a little talk at the beginning as well, thanking everyone for their support.
Awesome.
With her and Matt Bayfield, with the
R.I.P.
stuff we've been talking about with those guys, and it was just a really lovely night. Yeah, and that
Good.
is what I did.
Is it really, Harley? That's incredible. That concludes our news section. What Harley did, Crabber did, Harley do stuff. Yes, Harley did. Let's find out. It was incredible. So well done, mate. I think we should play some music then.
Please do.
So we're going to play something by Superglue. They've got a newer single. It came out a couple of months ago. Actually, I think it was last month.
Nice.
And Ben Brown is actually playing solo with Pet Needs this weekend for to raise money.
Yeah.
So, and they're also playing as Dingus. Well, he's playing with Dingus Khan this weekend as well. So
Amazing.
Superglue and Dingus
Busy
Khan
boy.
weekend, right? I mean, so for all those fans, you're going to be well impressed and pleased with this one. So this is their new single. This is Forever Endeavor. Check it out.
That was Superglue with Forever Endeavor.
Yeah, I like that. We were just saying that it's a bit of a departure from their usual style. There was this garage rock kind of style about, and that was much more pop punk, much more melody driven. Yeah, I really like that. But there's just little chord substitutions they add in, that, like, outside of the major scale, that did kind of like give it that Superglue sound. So nicely done, guys. So let me tell you what I did. What are we doing next week? What I did. What
we
do? I did some things, mate.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. So yeah, I had a big week of first performances actually last week. Some of my kids that I've been teaching, my kids, and I teach them. They're not my kids.
How say that was quick.
Yes, he's just incubated. I have a genetics lab at home.
Operation Incubus.
Just breeding the next generation of guitarists. So they had an assembly on Thursday where both Raina, ticket off your bingo card, and I had some of our students from the Rendlesham Primary School get
Who's
up.
Andai?
Was that?
Who's Andai?
Yeah, he's like our sidekick.
Okay, cool.
We put up our students in front of their whole school. The whole school was watching them for their assembly, and they were so we had Rainer start off with his drum students playing "We Will Rock You,"
Nice.
which immediately got the kids clapping along, and it started off the whole vibe. You could see all the kids that were really nervous suddenly just start to beam because their mates were clapping along with them playing.
Yeah.
So that was great. It just broke the ice. And the kids did really, really well. Like, the performance did really, really well. So we let myself and the guitarist stayed out of that one so that they just focused on the drums. And then it's kind of like I said to Rainer, I was like, okay, you do the introduction to sort of, start off the assembly. He's like, yeah, I didn't know you wanted me to talk. I was like, off you go, mate.
Bye-bye.
Introduce yourself. So then I sort of took the reins and started, shooting my mouth off as I usually do, and getting them all riled up, and it got them playing "Sunflower" by Post Malone. I sort of finger on the pulse here, mate. Finger on the pulse, even though the film came out.
You're down with the kids.
They basically it's from the Into the Spider-Verse Spider-Man film.
Okay.
And all the kids absolutely love it. About 2 or 3 of my students asked me to learn how to play it for them, and luckily it's 3 chords: D major, G major, E minor. Super easy chords.
Yeah.
But it's the changes that is really important. So each chord has about 2 bars each.
Okay.
Apart from the it goes back to G, so it has another sort of extra 2 bars added on top, and it was a really nice kind of build up to that that assembly where these kids are kind of practicing these chords, and then I'm like, okay, now you need to figure out how to change them because you're about to do it in front of the kids, and you need to know the importance of changing chord on time and keeping track with the song. There's also some syncopation in that song as well, which is good because it just teaches them about going off the beat and different strumming patterns. And I was so proud of them. So they did it. I said, don't worry about your playing too much. Just make sure that you're smiling and enjoying yourself, because in the end, if you're not enjoying yourself, there's no point in doing this.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like if you're upstairs on stage and you're playing something amazingly, but you're miserable, you're not happy, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I think so. Anyway, so yeah, they did a great job. Then after that, we did a joint thing with the drummers. Even though it was the end of November, we did Last Christmas by Wham. Funny thing about that is I had the same thing with Last Christmas by Wham as we had with Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. The tape in the original recording had stretched, so it was out of tune with a normal concert pitch tuner. So for anybody sort of confused about what I'm talking about there about being out of tune, I mean concert pitch didn't really exist until late 1800s.
Yeah.
And then digital tuning, so that we all had the same frequency that we were tuning to, didn't happen until at least the 70s.
Yeah.
So a lot of like old music you hear is not tuned like very directly to a frequency. So it can sound very out of tune. So if you try and play along with it, you're kind of like, this sounds awful. So I was noticing that while I was teaching them this in the sort of lead up to it. So I put it into Logic, like the original track, and then I just pitch corrected it ever so slightly, because it's not in a semitone out or something like that. It's not like a full. It's not. It was in D. It wasn't in C sharp or in E flat. It was just slightly. It was like C sharp, sharp, sharp. So I had to tune it down and then add sort of like very small microscopic tunings to it so that we could get it on. It sounds really strange though.
Does it? Or does it change?
His voice just sort of sounds a little bit different.
Oh, it's
almost
noticeably
chipmunky,
different.
but
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a hurdle I had to jump over. That was on the Thursday. On the Friday, I want to give a big shout out.
Go on then.
Okay, just quickly to those guys. Well done to Archie. Well done to Dexter. Well done to Jack. Well done to Grace. Well done to Iggy. Well done to Rosalba. And well done to Carnell. They were all their first performances. Well, actually, not all of their first performances, but either second performances at least.
Nice.
So yeah, heads up, there was the Pony Club band who I was talking about this on the show before. That's one of our wet wares, isn't it? No, we've talked about this on the show before. Said it again. So 3 students, young kids, they're sort of like in their 9. There was Hugo, who's not one of our students, but he's a drummer, who is friends with both Thomas and Ollie, who have come to the rock schools that we've done in the past. And it was their first performance together as a band. They formed a band as 3 friends, and they performed at their Pony Club, kind of like party. Yeah. And they had T-shirts and everything from their mums, like Charlotte and Sarah, and it was great. I was basically like with them doing performance kind of like coaching and sort of like getting them through the songs and making sure they know the structures, because they had a great they had a great playlist here, right? So Ollie, Hugo, and Thomas played "Eye of the Tiger," TNT, "Smoke on the Water," "Sweet Child of Mine," and "We Will Rock You."
Nice.
It's a 5-song set list, and everybody loved it.
Great.
I wasn't able to be there because I was in London, but I was sent videos of it. And once they posted them up online, and I was just so proud because I was there like for the first 2 rehearsals. I did 3 of them with them. First 2, I was like, right, okay, you're changing here, and I'm giving them signals and stuff like that. The third one, I was like, right, I'm just leaving you to it, because I'm not going to be there on the day, so I'm not going to be able to give you the signals. Yeah. And watching the videos back, they really relied on each other. Just the lessons that you always give, which is look at each other in the eyes, give each other very clear signals, and remember to smile. Yeah. All that sort of stuff, and they all did it.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm really proud of them. So well done, guys. So yeah, I was in London on Friday. Then on Saturday morning, I was in Bravo Stone Market,
Of course, yeah.
the Rock School. They've got a performance coming up, but I haven't got the date yet. So they were playing Zombie by the Cranberries.
Nice.
Which I was listening to that when I was like, I know this song, but I don't know that song. Like it's so easy because it's 4 chords, but I've only really ever listened to it being played by pub bands.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
not really
Yeah.
sat and listened to the recording.
Yeah.
I know how the song goes really well because I've just seen so many bands cover it. But I was listening to it. It's actually a real jam.
Yeah.
Like there's some really different drum patterns in there. There's some like like for the 90s there was guitar solos in there, but they were still alternative, not just sort of super fret. And then for the seniors we did I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness.
CHOON.
The hardest one that we've showed them so far. They rose to the challenge, but to have an hour lesson and then play it immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
It was out of some of their league, and then it became in their league by the end of the lesson.
Oh, that's
if that makes
good.
sense.
So you saw that those steps that they made.
Yeah.
Like happen there and then.
Yeah, it's just
That's great.
Okay, it's just the finger positions because you can sort of know how the chorus goes down,
Yeah.
and if you don't use a position when you're playing that, then and you're just using one finger, then that is impossible. That bit, it's just not. You can't get there fast enough, and you just get cramp. So teach them first position with that, just so that you sort of lead with your first finger, so you've got the rest of your fingers free to to go onto the fretboard afterwards, and to try and keep your fingers nice and close to the fretboard so they're ready and waiting. That was I could see that them suddenly realizing the merit of that mid-lesson, which is really fun. So then that evening I went home and just played loads of Jurassic Park Evolution because I love that game. It's
nice.
It's just about building Jurassic Parks, and my girlfriend and Frankie and I are on a massive Jurassic Park hype at the moment.
Sweet. Oh, always good.
Yeah, I love it. So then we had a private party at St. Peter's. Which I've not actually done a private party there before.
No.
It was really good because we just had our system. It's been difficult to do that in there before because it's such a huge room and sub really does get lost.
Yeah.
But we just Murray worked really hard and just cranked the subs, really, worked through ringing out the system so that we did have a really good sound all the way to the back.
Yeah.
Really chilled out affair, that one. So it was Emma Lightfoot's 50th birthday. So happy birthday, mate. Really nice because she booked us from a gig she saw us at about 4 years ago, which is quite good that people remember us that far back.
Yeah.
So that was chilled out vibes, just really good close family and things like this. They had all their kids there and stuff. The kids were going absolutely crazy because you can imagine they're all together after they've been apart for a while or something like that. So they're just like running backwards and forwards, like on the dance floor, skidding on the knees. Classic.
Oh, of course.
You've got to do that. There was one kid that would not stop trying to do the bottle flip. Oh, it was so annoying. Like, I'm sure he's a lovely kid, but he was annoying me. Like, he was just sitting there, like, right at the front of the stage, just flipping the bottle, and you could just hear it just going bang, 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 bang. And you're just like, dude, you're not very good at this. Stop trying right now. This is not the point. Do it at home. But anyway, he got a couple, and he kept on sort of looking at me just like, I did it. And I'd be like, but why? I don't understand the bottle flip thing.
No, I don't get it.
It's pointless.
I see someone do like 3 at once the other day. That was pretty cool.
But then you're like, good.
Cool.
So everybody's already done that before.
Yeah.
It's an old thing now. It is no longer lit. Lit is no longer lit. It's been used so much.
It's fire now.
They were like standing on chairs and stuff. Like the kids were just like proper. But the funny thing was the kids were the last ones standing.
Right.
By the end of it, like the kids were like standing on because I always play Bohemian Rhapsody at the end of my sort of DJ set because it has that great diminuendo.
That's your closer. Yeah.
And it's just like, thank you very much, good night, and everybody's just like actually satisfied because they've had a good sing, a good dance.
You can't follow that.
No, exactly. So and all the kids were the only ones left. All the adults had gone home apart from their parents.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny.
Nice.
But yeah, it was a different thing they had in in there, which was in St. Peter's, which they had sort of stage rises, which we'd not had before because the stage is really quite close to the ground in there, but they'd actually raised it up so that it was the same level as the other sort of mezzanines.
Oh, okay,
So,
cool.
yeah,
She had a bit more stage.
Yeah, because it's a tiered stage, isn't it?
Yeah.
At St. Peter's, so it was raised up, so we had a little bit more elevation,
Yeah.
which was a really good little move.
And a
I
better
think.
surface to do bottle flips on.
Absolutely. Oh god, don't even. Anyway, so
I can't even.
That's what I did. What did I do? Yeah, let's play some music, man. Right. So this is the sound of a bag of cans. Okay, the band's called Bag of Cans. They're playing this weekend with some phenomenal bands, including Dingus Khan. So phenomenals. You got to check this out. This is their newest single. This is called House Proud. Enjoy. Stick around for the gig list. That was the wonderful Bag of Cans with House Proud. They are from Norwich and they are playing this weekend in Ipswich. Or actually, no, close by to Ipswich. Stick around for the gig list to find out where.
Exactly. Oh, a bit of mystery.
Oh, right. That's what we need in this show.
Yeah.
A murder.
Well, what? Sorry, what? What? No.
Neil Young has announced that he's quitting Facebook over its political ads. Young says he's protesting Facebook's support using views. Oh, right. So this is interesting. Some of you guys may have known recently that Twitter has basically banned political ads because of, well, just paid political ads.
That's fair.
Right. Because of just the problem with spreading misinformation. Facebook has said they won't do that. And Neil Young and other artists have basically said, that's not cool. I don't need to use this site anymore, so I'm out.
I mean, to be fair, like, Neil Young existed before Facebook. I don't think he's going to lose too many followers.
Yeah, exactly. Most of his fans are like, okay, this affects me how?
Yeah.
So anyway, Neil Young has announced that he's quitting Facebook over its political ad stance. Young says he's also protesting Facebook's support of right-wing organisations. Young made those statements after Facebook refused to say it would ensure political advertisements are free from lies. After Facebook sponsored an event by the Federalist Society, Young said his decision was made for him. So the Federalist Society is just like a Republican, like hard right. Political organisation in America. This turn of events, in addition to the false information regularly supplied to the public on Facebook with his knowledge, has caused Neil Young to reevaluate and change his policy. So yeah, it's a difficult debate here because you sit there and think, okay, so if you're somebody like Neil Young and you withdraw your support from Facebook, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big advocate for music.
Yes.
Like just going, no, this is not the place for me anymore.
Yeah, but somebody like us that uses Facebook to advertise all the time, and I do disagree with this. I'm not sure where I stand on this, to be honest, because Twitter banning political ads because a lot of them are just spreading blanket lies. I mean, there was this whole thing with the Conservative Party where they blocked their account because they masqueraded as a fact checker.
Yeah,
which is pushing the boat too far, isn't it?
That's it. I think it's the reasons of which, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with paid political ads, but I think choosing to go against it because of the fact that they're spreading lies, because they don't want to be aiding misinformation.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Completely fair.
But the thing is, so Facebook has not done that. So I'm sort of saying to Twitter, okay, that's quite good because that may prevent the sort of like the circulation of these sort of lies and you know false information. But Facebook's kind of stance is that it shouldn't be in the hands of a multinational corporation, to say what is true and what is false before it puts it out there. So it's that in itself is quite a good point, because I don't particularly want my sort of my news being dictated by a private company, but they all are really in the end, aren't they?
Yeah.
So where does it kind of stop?
That's it. I mean, it's it's what do you do? Because I mean, the easiest, well, I'll say that, no, not the easiest. The right thing to do is to go, we will only host your adverts if they are factually true.
But who checks that?
That's it. That's a very expensive way for a company to go, all right, now we've got a whole team of people fact-checking every single advert that comes through. Oh, no, Vanish doesn't get rid of all kitchen stains.
Yeah, because it's for your clothes.
That's it. Like it's not just it's not. Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah.
That's the problem. But yeah. So,
bang, and the stain isn't gone. There we go.
No, that's Sillet Bang. That's Vanish, not Vanish. I don't know.
Look, this is not an advert for either Vanish or Sillet Bang.
Other Vanishes do exist and are available.
But that's a very good point, and I think taking it back to the music element, musicians are like notoriously left wing.
We are big old lefties.
There's very little right wing. What's the word?
There's Kid Rock. There's Ted Nugent,
and that's it.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner, you're a bit like, that's pretty right wing.
Well, Watergate doesn't bother them.
Yeah, exactly, because he was a Republican.
Yes. Yeah.
But like. That's the I don't know. So when you take a stance like Neil Young has done here, it makes sense when you've got a big following, and it makes. But I think it means a collective kind of moving away from it.
Yeah.
But
do you think? Can you see this starting a movement among musicians?
I don't think so, because I don't know, because we rely on social media so much, don't we?
I think if we were a little further down the road where there was a stepping off point too, say if SoundCloud had a better community for musicians, or if I don't know, Instagram is a great advert, but I still think it's a very one-channeled medium compared to
by
Facebook
anyway. So.
Well, yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, forget I said that.
It is interesting. Yeah, I mean, because they've obviously played fast and loose with people's data before. With the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
Yeah,
and Russian hacking. So I think it's probably the straw that broke the camel's back for Neil Young. I mean, what did he say here? He said, I don't feel that a social site should be making obvious commitments to one side of politics or the other. It further confuses readers regarding truthfulness in coverage and message.
It is worth mentioning that Facebook aren't taking sides on this. It's just saying, look, both sides lie, potentially. This is talking about people who are in a two-sided political society. Not every political world is like that, but a lot of them are, left wing, right wing, whatever. But, both sides could easily lie and spread false information.
Absolutely.
So it's not saying that one side is going to be favoured from the other by allowing this kind of behaviour.
Yeah. I think it's just what his point is that Facebook has been seen to financially support right-wing political movements. And it's probably the same the other way around. They've probably, supported left-wing political movements. But I think they should just stay out of politics. It's probably a good idea.
Do you think musicians should actively stay out of politics?
Not musicians. But I think Facebook should definitely stay out of politics.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because it's just going to sway more people one way. But I think musicians, I think we need to be political. I think we need to be socially active.
Yeah.
Because it's just musicians as a whole have that amazing ability to phrase an argument or a point of view in a way that's entertaining as well.
Yeah.
Comedians do this on sort of like The Daily Show and Real Time with Bill Maher and stuff like this. But it's very much you have to sit there and listen for about half an hour, 45 minutes to get all the points across. Whereas a song's 3 minutes, 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
And if you want to get the point across and people will re-listen to it. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think everybody should boycott Facebook? Because it's, perpetuating lies.
I've always said, I mentioned this, I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but I've certainly said it in personal conversations before. I probably wouldn't be on Facebook if I wasn't running bands or trying to promote my own gigs, my own music. I think
we're almost a lot like that, aren't we?
And which is kind of, so we feel a little bit tied to Facebook, which then adds stress when another musician is going, well, I'm stepping away from it.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, my name's not Neil Young. If my name was Neil Young, it would make it even harder because people wouldn't Google me because it would just go to the other guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I've got two friends that are called Will Young and Will Smith.
Oh wow!
And they're both musicians.
Oh, that's difficult. Yeah. Well, that's why, like David Bowie, his
He's
name
also
was.
got an album called Big Willie Style.
Ah, nice.
No, he
nice.
doesn't.
David Bowie's original name is David Jones, but he changed his name because of David Jones from the Monkees.
Oh, I thought you meant like he was worried about being confused with the guy who
The pirate.
had a locker. Yes.
Yeah. Well, potential.
Is this David Jones' locker? No. It's David
No.
Bowie's locker. Anyway,
For the
shall we?
Monkees. Yeah, go on.
Thing I found report about this morning.
Jingle.
Harley, what's the point of a musical education?
Well,
In one sentence.
okay. So this is a very good point. Okay.
Okay.
I had a friend who is a musician, and his point that he said to me, I said, you should learn some music theory or whatever. And he goes, I don't want to learn music theory because it would stifle me as a musician. I said, show you're working out. And he goes, I can't.
Yeah.
I haven't had any lessons. No. Because this particular, when I just find a note that works, if I learned how to play a scale, I would be bound by the notes in that scale.
Interesting.
What do you think of that?
I think there is definitely merit to that.
Yeah.
Because you start to sit there and think what's right and what's wrong when it comes to songwriting.
Yeah.
And I try and teach my kids that I'm genetically engineering at home. Just that
In the
okay,
vat.
it's good to know these scales so you know how to work around them.
Yeah.
But if it sounds right to you when you're writing a song,
Yeah.
then it's right because it's your song.
Yeah.
If you want that note there, it goes there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's whether in the scale or not.
I find it really funny because every now and then I'm like, let's try and write a song that completely plays all the wrong notes.
Yeah.
And then you take it to a musician that really knows what they're talking about. They're, oh yeah, no, it's just a substitution. That's this and this and this, which actually means you're playing in this scale,
Right.
not that scale. So there's
Nirvana does that a lot. It's just, there's so many songs that are just nonsensical in terms of music theory, but are just amazing when you listen to them. But the thing is, like, if you want it to sound good, if you want it to sound pleasing to a lot of people, I'll restate that, then it's good to use music theory because that's the reason why there's a theory there, is that it's just proved to be pleasing to people.
Yeah.
But, it's not, if you're writing songs just for you, it's not about what the people want to listen to, right? No. But yeah, anyway, I thought, I don't know. So I think a lot of people sort of look at music education, it's a waste of money, isn't it? I mean, you're not going to get a job in that.
Yeah.
And obviously, well, we do have jobs in that.
Yeah.
But I think people seem to have this misconception sometimes that education is about getting a job, where it's not. It's about furthering your experience of life. And it shows just, music itself is such an amazing influence on your brain. It just, how much it does for your brain is still being, experimented on. And to be able to see like how a brain lights up in an ECG and just, when it's listening to music, whereas when it's doing a task like, maths or if it's trying to read, those are specific parts of your brain, but music encompasses your entire brain.
Wow. Okay.
So the fact that that you just sort of you learn that in school is exactly the same as learning a language, because you are just creating these connections in your brain to say that means that, so this means that, and it's just it's crossing different areas of your brain so that you can do better in other subjects as well. But yeah, I mean, I think that does raise a point though, whereas there are a lot of people that I know of that went into music education, further education, and didn't get a job in it. Do you think that's derogatory to the music education?
Well, I had a friend who went to uni, and many friends.
All these friends that he's talking about, this just him.
Yeah, and he nearly just fell off a chair. Ignore me. So he's a good friend of mine, and he went to uni. I didn't go to uni, and towards the end of his course, we had a little catch up, and he goes, I finally kind of get what this whole uni business is all about. He says it's not about training yourself to get a job.
No.
It's about and he was studying photography. So it's safe to say that he wasn't, like I say, there's not always a lot of opportunity for that kind of work. It's very much a freelance world.
Now everybody's got a phone in your pocket.
Exactly. Yeah. He was going into a shrinking industry or expanding, but not a well paid. So he was like, it's more about the experience of having a university and living on your own for the first time, whatever. But it's about exploring something that interests you, that you're passionate about, and learning how to learn in a different way than you did in high school. He goes, I don't know if I'm ever going to make a job of this. I most probably am not. But it's all about just doing the learning kind of stuff in a new way, and learning something that you really want to, not what you're told to beforehand.
Yeah, I don't think it's relying on yourself. I think is a really good point, because there was so many. I was a student rep in everywhere I've been, basically from GCSE up till degree level. I've always been a student rep, so just like teacher's pet basically. But every single student that's ever come up to me just be like, the teachers aren't helping me enough. And it's always just the fact of like, okay, are you helping yourself enough? Because that's the whole point of further education, is that there is a subject there and you research it. And it's on you to do the learning. They point you in the right direction. But I think that's the life lesson there, is that you realise that outside of education, that was the big lesson for me. Nobody's going to hold your hand. And, those kind of lessons are learnt very, very well. You're sort of eased into it by university. If you just drop out and get a job, you have to learn that lesson fast. Yeah. And that can be really scary.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I guess there's a song called "Get Better" by Scroobius Pip.
You love it.
He says, "Whether you have or you have not wealth, the system may fail you, but don't fail yourself." Oh.
Well, I can't follow that.
No.
So yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know. Before we go on to the gig list, let's have a little quick look at today's game, as it's been a lot of fun today, actually. So the question today was, what artist do you think has had the best musical reinvention? I put Pantera, because they used to be a hair metal band, and they basically invented groove metal.
Okay.
By sort of incorporating grindcore into hair metal. So, what was it? So... Dan Lee Harvey said George Clinton, from the barbershop boy to leader of the Mothership Connection, the P-Funk Army, Funkadelic, all that, which is true. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. Nigel Bowyer, The Clash. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, you think of the punk, and then he says to a mixture of rap, gospel, reggae, punk, rockabilly, dub, funk, world music, rock, everything. Mm-hmm. Joe Strummer's done everything, isn't he?
My go-to when I heard this was the Arctic Monkeys.
Oh yeah, they've multiple reinventions.
Every single album has been very different from the previous, and they're people go, oh, they changed, man. They used to be like punky, like, well, yeah, but they've not done two things the same. So
I think sort of the strange thing with that question was the whole: is this reinvention or is it musical adaptation or progression? Yeah, yeah. Because there are so many bands that have done that after a while, have gotten to a place. Yeah. But I don't know, did it take a while?
No artist has reinvented themselves more than David Bowie, though.
Right. Every single album, completely different personality.
Yeah.
The Thin White Duke. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Yeah. Let us know. We've got games every week. So, yeah, there's loads of fun ones on
Facebook.com/Harley and Josh Show.
Absolutely.
Come say hi. Yeah. Let us know. Do. And let us know what you think.
Yeah, do you have thoughts?
Do you?
We don't.
If you don't have thoughts, just comment and say,
be on this show.
I have no opinions on this matter.
Right, anyway, Harley, it's the important part of the show, so everybody knows what they're going to do, mate. Gig list. Right, Harley, do you want to start us off?
Percussive at the end there.
Oh, yes, you've got to be plosive. So I don't know how to say the first one I've got on the list here. I'm not sure if it's B-O-B or if it's...
Bob.
Bob plus support.
Bob.
So educate us. If we're wrong at this, then educate us.
Didn't B.O.B. Do a rap with Jessie J? So
that was it. Yeah, Aeroplanes. Yeah.
Bob.
Anyway, so he's the flat earther, isn't
he? Was he all about flat earth?
He's the flat earther.
Why do you sing airplane? Oh, never mind.
Oh, that's BYOB. Anyway, so he's at the John Peel Centre, Bob. This the 27th, so that is the Wednesday. Yeah. So a weekday gig for you guys is at Stone Market in Suffolk at 7:30.
Nice. 29th of November, that's Friday. Chart Attack playing at the Golf Hotel. I'm not going to be there, but we've got the amazing Alex Lenton on bass, and it's going to be amazing. So
first time I ever saw Alex Lenton play was at the Golf Hotel with Motherfunker.
Great, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's played some great stuff with those guys.
Nick Keeble was
some of the best bass lines that we all stole for Chart Attack set. So, yeah, you get to hear him playing some great bits.
That's Friday at 9:00.
Yeah.
Also on Friday at 5:30 at the Smokehouse, we've got Sonder, which is a spoken word and open mic and a book launch.
Amazing.
So
That's a bit different.
a triple threat, that one.
Oh, yeah.
So that is 7 until 11. That is this Friday.
Great. Also on Friday, we have Phil Jackson's Rock and Roll Band live at Woodbridge for the big turn on the Christmas lights.
Ooh, I like that. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
So many rock and roll Christmas songs that you can do. So I don't know if he probably wouldn't do any, but he was like, no, we're going to do Hanukkah songs.
We imagine that. So it's great. You've got music and light entertainment.
Yeah, light
Entertainment.
I like that.
You like that?
I do. So also on the Friday, there's so much going on this weekend. Dingus Khan, incredible, with Benjamin Brown. Fish Claw, who we played on last week, absolutely incredible. And Bag of Cans,
who we played today.
Yes, we did, with House Proud. They are playing at the Three Wise Monkeys in Colchester. That's this Friday at 7:30. I'm not sure if there's going to be any tickets left, but if there are, get on that quickly.
Yes, boy. We have Mike Peters presents The Alarm. It's their Hurricane of Change tour. That's also this Friday, isn't it? Yeah. Friday, at the John Peel Centre, back in Stone Market. Make it along to there. Great venue.
Yeah, it is. I do love the place. You've got to support it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Also, this Friday in Colchester, we've got Osmium Guillotine. We played them on the show before. Metal and Perilla, who are interesting. They're kind of like Depeche Mode kind of sounds to them.
Oh, okay.
And Luke Fisher. They're all three completely different bands.
That's great.
Singer-songwriting.
I love a gig where you can have three completely different genres. You know.
So that's at the Queen Street Brewhouse on Friday at 7:30.
Nice. We are on to Saturday. We've got a climate change awareness event.
Yes, indeed.
So we have
There's good old James Garden, this one.
Yeah, so we've got Ellie Tree, Alice Rock, Joe Lees, Jeffrey Blythe from Hank's Deli, Talking Sleeve, Noah Evans, Ellen Ferry, and The Shrew, all playing at the Brewers Arms. And there's also Climate Doodles, which is James Garden's thing, Mind Doodles, but it's all about climate change and raising awareness for climate change and how we can all make us not die in a fiery pit of sweat.
That would be great. Wait, yes. No, I didn't. Yeah, the event's going to be amazing. Got to see if we can get down to that one.
We got a double gig weekend, boy.
No, well, I'm quickly going to be saying about Saturday. I'm actually playing with Murray Collins at the Essex University for their winter night market. So
wonderful.
We can be there between about 4 and 7. So if you want to come down and find yourself some just sort of bits for early Christmas presents and watch us play, and also get cheap beer because it's an SU bar.
Oh, even better.
Check that out, mate.
Nice. So we also have on this Saturday, we've got Chart Attack. We are going to be playing
Sans Harley.
Yes, without me. Again, I'm probably going to try and get there, but I'm travelling back from Belfast, so it's a long drive. So I'll probably turn up just for like the second set and just be like, I wish I was on stage. So it's a Duke's launch party. So that's the Duke of York on Woodbridge Road in Ipswich. Chart Attack will be playing.
Give music again.
Yes, it says 8 o'clock. I'm not sure what kind of band will be starting, but we'll get along from 8, grab yourself some beers, so come say hi, and say hi to Alex and tell him how much he is better than me.
Oh, no.
I mean, he knows. He doesn't know. He's very, very humble, but he is great, so you know.
So we've got Elephant Jane and the Lamplight Club, as well as Blooming Eyes and friends of the show, Bad Stone.
Yeah, boy.
Producers here at the Smokehouse and at the Punch Studios. That is this Saturday at 7 o'clock at the Smokehouse.
Amazing.
Right here.
Cool.
A couple more shows.
So we've got Tallulah Plays the Triangle.
Not the instrument.
Oh, okay. So that's the Triangle Tavern in Lowestoft. Is that Tallulah Good Times?
Yes.
It is. Great.
Tallulah Good Times.
And that is the Saturday, 30th of November at the Triangle Tavern in Lowestoft.
Lowestoft. Pet Needs, playing a charity gig. Shout out to Johnny Marriott. He's actually the person that's booked me for this Colchester winter night market.
Amazing.
So the same day, he is playing with Benjamin Brerewan of Dingus Khan and Superglue. He's going to be doing some solo stuff, so hopefully he'll be playing some of the stuff that we played today.
If you can get tickets.
Yeah, if you get tickets, because there's only 8 tickets left.
At the time of recording.
Exactly. So that's Saturday, the 30th of November at Best Days Vintage. It's a charity show raising money.
Great. Well, one last gig.
Oh, there's 2 more.
Oh, there's 2 more, sorry. Yes. Oh, let's. So we have Martin Stevenson and the Dainties, plus a special guest. And they will be playing at the Ipswich Arts Centre at St Clement's Church, Ipswich.
I've not been there. I'm not been to the Ipswich Arts Centre.
We're not.
No.
Oh, wait, me neither.
I don't think either of us been. So we're going to check that out.
Yeah.
And the last thing this weekend, I am playing with Jess and the Buccaneers live at Isaac's for the first time. We're playing this Sunday at 3:00, and I'm going to write a new song for it.
Great. I'm going to try and make it along to that.
Yeah.
I should have day off, so I'm going to try and swing by.
Not sure if we're going to be inside or outside.
Well, see how the weather goes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Might be a bit cold.
can't you be out on a boat?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It'd be fitting if we're right on the waterfront. It'd be quite cool for pirates, isn't it?
Yarr.
Anyway, so thanks everybody for listening.
Yeah, mate, it's been great.
It has indeed. Let us know about discussions for each show. If there's something you want us to talk about, or if there's something you want us to educate you about, we're probably not the right people for it.
No, not. But, we'll do our best.
We're idiots, but also teachers. So yeah, don't take your students away from us.
No, please no.
Right, we love you.
Hello.
Find us. Bye.
Bye.